World Championships, Canada, 1986. After more than a year of coordination, the final preparations were ready for the 1986 Fireball World Championships held in Montreal, Canada. Regatta Chairman Dave Brown and Co-Chairman Mike Nickel-Griffith were aided by Race Committee Chairman Roger Tattersall, Chief Judge Jack Cameron, Measurement Bill Beard, John Major, Peter Hinrichsen, Budget Jim Waldy, Fundraising Nick Van Hoeften, George Stedman, Shore Officer Joe Grant, Housing Trish Garbett, Social Jan Brown, Margaret Eastwood, Secretary Gloria Sola, Publicity Program Don Osborne, Marge Nickel-Griffith, Manpower Ann Brohan, Club Manager Tom Thompson. Thanks largely to the efforts of David Allen, the Cast Company provided 2 containers to ship 20 Fireballs from Europe. Fireballs were originally designed in 1962 by British naval architect Peter Milne. There are presently over 50 countries where one can find these 2-man high-performance dinghies with sail numbers approaching the number 14,000. Indeed, a world-class boat, but for most of the competitors, it was not only their first trip to Montreal, it was their first trip to Canada. Pointe Yacht Club was founded in 1879 by 37 men who dreamed of using the old Grand Trunk Railway Pier as a center for boating. Only 15 miles west of downtown Montreal and at the broadest point of Lake St. Louis, the club has always been popular and has a long history of racing events. The first order of business in any major sailing competition is checking the boats to make sure that they conform to the race standards. For many, very slight unintentional variations made for a busy weekend, correcting these problems prior to race deadline.
International Week was intended as a warm-up period for the competitors already qualified for the Worlds. A few open spots, however, made it a last chance for others to qualify. Once the skippers meeting was held and over with on June 1st, a 1986 Worlds tradition was started by the Molson's Company, who supplied free beer at the end of each day. First race of International Week, June 2nd, 1986.
Fire dream won't come true. Sarah, Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time. Oh, Sarah, Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time for goodbyes. Sarah, love me like no one has ever loved me.
Though the team of Parslow and Rush were the first across the finish line, because they'd started prematurely, the United Kingdom's Thomas and Darling were first, the United Kingdom's Bedell and Curzon were second, Cook and Cage of the United Kingdom were third, and the United States was top North American with Mastouris and Walker. Canada's number one finisher was Nicol, Griffith and Kelly. This is the start of the second race, as winds built throughout the day.
I'll never find another girl like you. With fire and eyes, a dream won't come true. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time. Oh, Sarah, Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time for goodbyes. Sarah, Sarah, storms are brewing.
This time the Australians were first across the line as Abbott and Smith were first. The United Kingdom's Cook and Cage were second. The United Kingdom's Weatherall and Barker were third. Top North American was the 9th place finish by Mastouris and Walker, and Canada's number one finish was the 14th place by the LeBlanc brothers. June 3rd brought winds again building throughout the day as the start of the third race.
Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me. And where are you when the sun goes down? You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. So far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far from me. I'm tired of being in love and being all alone when you're so far away from me. I'm tired of making out on the telephone 'cause you're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me.
By By the end of the third race, United Kingdom's Lennon and Orrell were first, Hall and Frere, also of the UK, were second. Australia's Abbott and Smith were in third, and the top North American was the Canadian team of Thomas and Holmes Smith in 8th place. The top US finisher this day came in 16th place, was the team of Werblow and Pudney.
You've been in the sun and I've been in the rain, and you're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me.
The fourth race began under building airs.
So far away from me. So far away from me. I must look a mess, I must admit, but I have been traveling quite a bit. South of the border.
By the end of the fourth race, the United Kingdom team of Cook and Cage won again. Australia's Abbott and Smith were second, the United Kingdom's McGill and Poor third. Top North American was the American team in 13th place of Mastoris and Walker, and Canada's top finisher was the 15th place finish of Thomas and Holmes Smith.
I left for Tampico last July.
The fifth race of the International Week on the Wednesday started innocently enough, but midway through the race, gusting to 30 and 40 knots meant for exceptionally exciting racing. Almost one-third of the competitors were forced to withdraw from this race. In the end, it was Australia's Abbott and Smith that took the bullet. Second place went to the United Kingdom's Weatherthall and Barker, last year's world champions. Third place in the fifth race was Australia's Miles and Chadwick, while the North American's top finisher was in 11th place by the United States' Mastoris and Walker, followed closely by Canada's 12th place finish of Thomas and Holmes Smith.
That is all I really
I was thrown out of the country yesterday. See, I was drinking double, causing lots of trouble. When the man looked in the window of the party grand and said, if you come back, we just may not be your friend. I don't want to see you around here again. If you come back next time, we may not pretend. Howdy ho, boys. Yeah.
The awards were given immediately after the after the fifth race. 10th place went to the UK's team of Handley and Handley. 9th place to Bedell and Curzon. 8th place went to Partington and Vault. Seventh place went to the United Kingdom's team of Thomas and Darling. The Australians team of Miles and Chadwick took 6th. 5th place went to the United Kingdom's Hall and Freer. Lennon and Orrell took 4th place from the United Kingdom. Last year's world champion Weatherthal and Barker were in 3rd. 2nd went to Cook and Cage, and the winners were from Australia with only 8.7 points total with the drop race, Abbott and Smith. The opening ceremonies of the Worlds are held on a beautiful, sunny, unusually warm Canadian afternoon.
But ask for some palm trees or tales from the South Seas, and I just might turn your head. I never had
June 6, 1986. It's 11 o'clock. It's time for race 1 of the World Championships. Unfortunately, a record number of general recalls, 15 to be exact, would put quite a damper on the day, which started off with a brisk breeze and slowly died to a trickle. This is what happened. Recall again. The next recall would be the third. By now, competitors were getting itchy. But not so itchy that they could not have another series of general recalls. So a postponement was called to let everyone cool off.
Again, I don't believe it.
By now it was well after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There had been no race started, and it was a long way to go till the end of the day.
This is the action behind the play here. They're all early again. Not even close. That was the worst thing yet. After he I don't believe it. Not a hope. General recall, no doubt about it. Yeah.
The absence of any control at the start and the race committee's lack of power to be able to inflict damage on sailors over the line early meant more false starts.
So that's the 11th recall. An awful lot of guys way over.
friend should have come out. By the end of the 12th recall, everyone, generally speaking, was hoping that 13 would be the lucky number of the day. This, unfortunately, was not to be. I wonder why. Oh, yeah. The final attempt was tried, 15th attempt, the 15th general recall, under the 1 minute ruling, meaning that anyone over the line 1 minute before the start would have to re-round either end. Unfortunately, nobody did. It was a general recall, and a lot of people got their best starts of the entire regatta on this particular day. If you're interested, the gun has just sounded. It was decided that that was the end of the day and it was time to go back for free beer, so everyone packed up and headed back. The first day of the Worlds was spent behind the wrong side of the finish line and on the right end of a bottle of beer. After one recall, the death flag was hoisted, indicating to all competitors that anyone over early would be disqualified. Caution then became the key word, and there was a clean second start for the second race of the World Championship Fireballs. By the end of the fourth leg, Weatherall and Barker led the fleet at the weather mark. McGill and Poor were to be second, Australians Abbott and Smith third, Brits Lennon and Orrell fourth, and British team of Partington and Vogt were in fifth position.